All right.
All right, well, time to reschedule, guys. See you guys next week. No.
I will. Oh,
Flint, what would you have done if we just all left the party as soon as Paris said that? Like, before you could even, like, say, no, 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 no.
I would just shrug, go and buy some ice cream and just, I don't know, watch movies or something.
While sending 8 wolves to take us out.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Nice
Okay.
spell.
5, 6. I like the theory of this because like both Harmony and Garfield aren't here, so there would only be a need for 6 wolves. But somebody's either going to get 2 extra wolves, or 2 people are going to get an extra wolf each.
Alternatively, you can summon 6. I believe it's what is it like 6 1/4 CR creatures or some shit.
I just
No.
want
Yeah.
to say that those
It
2
goes up.
extra wolves are going straight to Paris' house.
Very fair. I think you're right.
I already have 2 wolves. Leave me alone.
He's already
Yeah.
died once. God.
Yeah, get the guy a break.
What's the chapter title?
There's no chapter. It's just epilogue.
Okay.
The Death of Shade, Part 3.
Everyone
Leave me
dies.
alone!
Epilogue. Shay dies harder.
Okay, guys, let's get this started.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. It has been a solid 2 weeks since over the table. You guys have gone and have put Strahd to rest. What's today's end, so to speak? What would be one of many endings? 4 months from that moment, at Esmeralda's Vistani camp. During this time, after his death, Barovia has had a reprieve like no other. The fog that surrounds the land has thinned. No longer do people get harmed trying to pass through it, and the dark clouds that once loomed over the valley for centuries have now allowed sunshine and warmth to come to the lands once more. For the first time in a long while, the Barovians of the land have, well, experienced the feeling of hope. In particular, on this day, Rictavio has come to say his goodbyes to Esmeralda, who, as he walks into the wagon, finds her working on, as far as he can tell, this large plain glass window fixture. Esmeralda doesn't give much of a hint as he walks in. She's busy fitting the last pieces in. So is that time already? She sighs. Rictavio goes and brushes himself off and make sure his collar and everything looks neat. And yes, it's time that I go and, I guess, try out living in peace. He says with a bit of a kind of a frown on his face. So many of the others have gone their own ways and have gone on to the next chapter of their lives. I feel like the world is in better hands, and well, he bites his lip for a little bit, and Esmeralda, sighs and puts down a few things for turning her back over to him. You're gonna go looking for him, aren't you? Galahad. That buffoon has not been seen in over a month. I know that people already assume that he's dead. I don't buy it. What's been going on there, and I want to look a bit more into it. Esmeralda just rubs her temples. Just promise to write, will you? Someone's gonna be able to go and look after your sorry ass. I will. For the first time, Rictavio takes a look over her shoulder at the work she's been putting together. And what's that? This? It's a gift to the Lord Maria as a kind of a sign of what we've all been through. If we don't remember, and perhaps we don't forget, I should say, no, you always remember what we did here in these lands, and as we move forward for the future, that we just continue to follow in these heroes' footsteps. They remember the legend of the Misfits in Barovia. She goes and shines a light on to the piece as she ponders over it. She thinks back to how each piece of its puzzle really kind of helped, I feel like, bring like this whole story to a conclusion. As she thought about how each of her friends finished their times in Barovia, went about their separate ways. Let's take a look at that now, as we start to look at this piece with Shade.
Hi.
Shade!
Hi.
For your part in this ending, we're actually going to go back to a few, probably even like a day after Strahd's demise. Wanting to seek answers from Lady Madame Ava. She's invited you to her encampment. You come to a circle of wagons, and the people here, based on the Vistani you've met so far, still have like an air of mysticism about them. You've heard rumors of Ava becoming, how one would say, slowly declining in health. Best to assume that the passing of her brother has, I guess, finally allowed her to pass on herself, as many assume that she won't be much longer for this world. Hence the importance you feel that not only has she invited you to finally come speak with her, but she's also asked that Mori joins you. For, as you've heard from her, for the answers to your questions will probably be ones he wants to hear.
Oh?
Alrighty.
Well. We should probably hurry up and find her. I'm kind of worried about all of this.
Yeah. I assume she's in her tent.
Yeah, I don't know where that is. I don't think Shade has been here.
Let me see if I remember. Do I remember?
You do. It's it's a very distinct tent in the back of this whole area. In fact, as you go in, you can still feel that Mori, the familiar rush of magic flames that cast a reddish glow over the interior of this tent. We're in a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as Madame Eva already sits hunched with fingers peering into its depth. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. At last, you finally arrived, Shane.
Yes,
Took you long
it's-
enough.
Oh. Yeah, well, we had some things to... Oh, are you okay?
I'm fine, dearie. I'm fine.
Okay. You invited us over here? What's up?
When the Misfits came to Barovia, I was privileged to give them all direction on their quests, and it seemed only fair that you get the chance as well.
Yeah.
I know all and see many things. So before you ask, dearie, keep in mind that I will only be able to answer the fate of three things. So choose your questions well as we dive into your destiny.
You said my father knew who I was. I didn't think he knew that. I've never seen him before.
Oh? And why do you believe that?
Well, he never came to see me and my mom. And the elders always said that we were abandoned. And Mama always looked so sad at times.
She goes and fans out a few cards in front of you, rated from your point of view, 1 through 4. She goes and hovers over them for a brief moment before she goes and flips one that reveals an enchanter on it, holding 3 various eggs around her. You believed your elders.
Of,
You feel like they would never lie or bend the truth around you?
of course not. Why would they do that?
You would think by now. She goes and flips another card to reveal a man hooded with a large blade in his hands, almost like an executioner. You would think by now you would have caught on that there have been people in your life, ones that have had darker intentions, who have always moved things to the shadows of their own gain.
I mean, I guess, but then why would my mom always look so sad? I just assumed that since she was so sad, that it was right? Right?
She flips another card with the word Berserker across it, with images of 2 heads lopped off with a blade behind them. Child, you asked me how your father knew about you, or knows about you. He knows because he heard of the attack on your ship. He heard about his darling beloved, lost to the waves. He's heard word about you.
You said it was an attack?
She flips the 4th card, revealing a merchant. In the lands outside this valley, there lies a unseen group of individuals who pass off as merchants or as people of good business. But no, this would best be described as a black network. Has been going throughout this land, arranging attacks, all kinds of things. On ships, on trading routes, looking to help gain items, people, materials of all kinds for a greater purpose, for their greatest client of all.
The elders did say that the ship we got on when we were leaving, that they had to convince the ship owners to let us on because it wasn't really a passenger type of ship. I didn't think too much about it.
Of course not, dearie. Because if they showed their excitement to have your mother on board, they would never have been able to convince the elders to go along with it.
They wanted my mom?
You saw what happened. You lived through it. This network has gone out of the way to gain powerful items and assets. One could say, she looks towards you, Maury. They have not been afraid to attack pirates of renown either.
Like who?
Surprised you never did ask whatever happened to your shipmates.
I assume they're dead.
Oh, some, yes. All? Well, the pair of you will find out. That's one. What's your two others, dear?
Where are these people now? The ones who attacked the ship.
She goes and clears the cards she had in front of her. I posted what she had in front
Ooh.
on the Misfit channel if you want to see what they look like.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Look at this guy drawing cards in real life.
Oh yeah.
Fancy schmancy.
Nerd. We love a nerd, though.
Oh yes. I use these cards to actually set up book one, by the way.
Ooh.
She goes and puts out, this time, instead of a cross, she puts out a square. My visions outside these lands are not so strong as they once were. However, I can certainly point you in the direction of one you should probably go ask a bit more. One who has always been a part of the Black Network. She goes and flips over the top card to reveal a traitor. Surprised throughout all of this, not anyone has ever asked whatever came of Kato.
Does Shade know Kato? I can't remember. I don't think she does.
He was
Maury
never,
would.
yeah, he was never really somebody I worried about. He always struck me as a little bit pathetic, if I'm being honest.
Oh, perfect for an informant, wouldn't you say? He has already left, though.
Where did he go?
She flips another card in this square. This reveals his ally. It shows the card of a healer. It appears, though, to go. So once again, reveal the healer card. He has got into the business of dealing with apothecaries and supposedly the drug trade. She goes and flips the card below the healer to reveal the card of the seer, a man with various eyes on top of his head. You'll find your first hint to where he and his new cohort are. But once you seek out an individual, someone with the powers of divination, ones that are better than I, and she goes and reveals the last card of this block. To reveal the card of the Paladin. When you do find Kato, it appears the fates are saying you will have to go and deal with them under the words of the law.
Law's so boring, though.
I was about to say, does that mean we have to be legal about this? I don't wanna.
Suppose if it's willed, we can't really say no. No promises, though. We'll do our best.
Well, I only recommend, dearie. You can always go about it your own way.
Fair enough.
One more.
Uh,
And the second layout is up, by the way.
yee. Are these questions just for Shade to ask, or does Melchior have anything he wants to ask, or?
You are welcome to give one of your questions to him if you so desire.
Well, buddy, you got anything?
I suppose, though they don't really relate to this.
Well, go on ahead.
Okay. When I was much younger, I left my home, and I've been curious lately. Are my parents still there? Are they okay?
She fans out 5 cards. Let's see what the fates decree. She flips the first one. Card of the Abjurer. Interesting. How long ago was it again, you said?
Since I left,
Yeah.
probably 12 years or so.
Looks in that time they have left the cove. And have gone elsewhere. She flips the card next to the Abjurer to reveal a card of an anarchist. It looks like there was turmoil in your home. Disruption may have been the cause of what led them to leave. She flips the one above it. They would have traveled. She was a card of the priest. By the way of the church, it appears. Maybe your little guardian angel was helping them find a new place.
Well,
Or
can
is that
only
some...
hope.
Indeed. The next card above it reveals a card of the ghost. Oh, dearie, I'm sorry. It appears at least one has passed on.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
Melchior, I'm so sorry.
It's. Thank. I don't. Thank you.
Shade's gonna rub his back for. That sucks. That sucks to hear.
Does.
Let's go and find out the present fate of the remaining parent. She goes and reveals a card of a beggar. It appears that the passing of one of your parents may have caused the other to lose themselves. You may need to go find them, Melchior, to help bring them back.
Oh, I will. There's no question that I will.
At this point, Madame Ava seems to be kind of wavering back and forth, just exhausted.
Are you okay?
I've had better, dearie. I feel like I must rest for a moment soon, but she goes and stands up to walk to the pair of you. Puts one hand on each of your shoulders. I can sense that both of you will be great allies to each other as you travel to find out whatever became of your parents, became of those you've lost. I kind of looks absentmindedly for a second. She looks down and at your sword, Shade, before saying, "Whatever you do, never lose this blade, child. I feel like your father still lives. However, that blade must have come by the way of the network, because I can feel him now attached to that blade. Your father's soul is attached to that sword. He's
What?
going to need it back. Eyes start to flicker for a moment before she kind of crumples to one knee.
Oh, hey! And like Shade
Yeah,
reaches out to catch her.
Yeah, same.
I think maybe we should stop and get you to a bed.
Yeah, let's get you to bed.
Thank you, children. I feel like I could take a nap for a bit.
Yeah, a nap sounds good.
Let's
As you guys
tuck her
put
in.
Madam Eva to rest, she goes into a deep sleep that she would not wake up from.
God!
Oh, great.
However, you do notice that she does get tucked in. There's a smile upon her face, knowing that the world's a bit better, knowing Barovia's in good hands.
Can't believe Shade came out here killing old
So
lady.
Shade has seen 2 people die
Shade
in
has
front of her.
Shade has seen a
I
lot of
need
people
some
die, but
therapy.
Shade's seen a lot of people die, but yeah,
Shade's gonna need some therapy.
it's fine. Shade like helps tuck her in, and
She's old, man.
yeah, I mean this is fine. It's not like it's traumatizing, so
Yeah.
I think it'll be okay.
Look, she finally got to do her one mission. Let her die. It's okay.
Let her die.
If I had to be a prophet of fate and then fate finally fucking did it after like 500 goddamn years, it's like I too would want to die finally, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like she just got disintegrated or anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
mean, we could make that happen, but we won't.
Can we not?
No, yeah,
How about let's not? And
yeah.
Moving on. Soon after this night Shade had with Madame Eva, wasn't barely a week that we saw the end of TikTok's tale in this book. He grilled meat before he went off to grill Chunks on any information he could from the
oh my
dragon.
god.
The pair had a bit of, arguing, but to say the least, their joyful laughter could be heard throughout the crypt for a good solid day as they made peace. They told tales of just their memories of out in the world of Versailles. But with the word that last Chunk saw of Captain James was off on the continent of Peltez around the city of Saltmarsh, that TikTok bid his adieus with a hearty see you, meatbags, as he went off to go find his friend. Which was rough, of course, for Harmony and Rowan, who have come to be close with the Croc. The pair of them, though, kind of took to, like most of you, to help with the repairing of Barovia. They themselves went to what was by far the worst, the village of Barovia, which had been overseen by Castle Ravenloft for years upon years. After y'all left, it did not get any better. With the dream pastries going the way of the dodo, they were kind of, let's just say, barely alive by the time the 2 druids came to the town. Through their efforts, though, and working with Ismark, not Ismark, wasn't Ismark, what was his name?
What are these, Mark?
Yeah,
Was it
he's
Ismark?
Yeah.
Okay, good, I got it right the first try.
Yeah.
Yay! Ismark.
First try.
Yeah, we're able to help not only to help bring some civility back to this humble village, but they also helped find a home for all of the golems that Adam had created. Though a bit at odds at first, they were able to rebuild this into a humble colony of acceptance. Ironically enough, Periwinkle went to go take over Bildrath's old store, and to really help make this be the perfect hub for those coming to visit the land of Barovia for the first time. to see those that lived under the accursed Count Strahd, and the wonders of the Flesh Golem army that almost took over the land. Afterwards, Harmony and Rowan would go on to return back home to check in on their father and to hopefully keep TikTok, who promised to visit one day, to not eat all the animals. As the borders opened up, we would see blokes like Argy and Shepard doing what they can to help reestablish connections for trade. Not being shy to working his tongue around various connections. Arg was able to get places like Cinderfell to be happy to start establishing a nice network to bring in much needed supplies to repair the Valley of Barovia. And to also hear the crazy tales from the one-eyed gnome who managed to go and fool an ancient vampire for a good solid 5 years. It was through the supplies that blokes like Cross and Himes were able to go and restart something pretty damn big that had been long left untouched. Cross, my boy! As with your help, you find yourself at the ruins, so to speak, of Argynvostholt, which has seen much better days. The Revenants, having done their duty, had to finally see Strahd put to rest, or just city destroyed, had passed on, leaving you, Himes, and Sir Galahad left to help rebuild the order in the valley.
So
You
are the
find-
revenants still alive, or did they like get
They
laid to
passed.
rest?
They have all passed on.
Okay.
Which is why Himes is looking at you with a bit of like a confused look at his legacy and not knowing where to start.
Well, I gotta be honest with you, kid. I didn't know Revenant did this kind of thing.
Galahad laughs. Nor do I, sir, nor do I. But I think the three of us should be able to go about repairing this place.
We're gonna need a lot of cement.
And
But
new
first,
recruits.
yeah, new recruits. Maybe those loyal and Barovia born. Perhaps Heim should see if his predecessor is still here, the spirit. I'm kind of wondering if they too have passed. It seemed like they really wanted to speak with him first.
Himes looks over to you like, I would like that. I mean, where did you say you met them? I heard something about a stone and a chandelier. It wasn't very exact.
Well, it was inside. I could take you to the place. It was by a fireplace in the upstairs.
All right. Lead on.
Of course. So this is where Auntie Harmony, decided to turn into a squirrel, and she got scolded by a bunch of crows as I was waiting over here. And then we went up over here. Oh yeah, over there were tons of spiders, bad spiders. We'll have to probably cook them later or get rid of them somehow. And I think this should be the room right here, actually. So here, I'll open it for you, and yeah, let's see.
Himes and Galahad both fallen behind you as you stare at the ancient hearth, presently cold. How do you start it?
Well, last time I was just kind of screaming, I want to the Lord and Master of this place. That kind of did it. Let's see. Argynvostholt, are you still here? Make your presence known.
give us a what is it? An Arcana check, please, if you can.
Let's see. Am I still locked in? No, I'm not playing as Strahd. That is incorrect.
He's back.
And
He lives.
Strahd jumps from the fireplace.
God.
What was it? Arcana?
Yeah.
Oh god, this is. Okay.
You got it.
Nice.
Maybe advantage
you-
because he's seen this done before. I don't know.
I would say, yeah, that you would have it with advantage, because of just you being part of the order and having
All right.
Okay. and we use the cross bonus of +10 to make that an 18.
I mean, to be fair, I started at -2.
Hey, it was better.
It was better, yeah.
Was
Also,
it? Okay.
I like to see that the wolf. Like, why is Roll20 never liked your rolls? Did you like beat up the makers of this at some point? I want to know.
Quick, attack a party member. See what happens.
God.
I'm just saying.
I
Maybe
know.
that's the trick.
I know.
And
Okay.
as you,
I attack Lute's remains.
See what I mean?
Oh my
at least you punch well.
Like one of them is a -2, and one of them is a +11.
Shh.
So
Let's have this.
god. Oh my god.
say the difference is like 2 points.
You had your fortune telling. Let's add this.
Sorry.
As you go and call out, you notice the whole building itself kind of breathes for a moment, trying to like almost give that one last.
Fortunate. Roll 20 accepts me, and then Discord kicks me out.
Oh, jeez. But the building is alive, trying to reach out to you, as far as you can tell, for one last conversation, so to speak, one last connection. You can see
Come closer. Let them know you're in here as well.
he nods as, I am Himes, the son of Argonvost. Father? Mother? Are any of you there? The flame kind of grows a little bit. I don't know if they can. You can see him turning a little bit teary-eyed, looking at you for some kind of direction. Cross. Like, I'm not sure if they're strong enough.
What do you mean by strong enough? That you're not strong enough?
I'm just not sure if they have. You see, their powers have faded so much, and Galahad just chuckles from behind. Come on, boy, you have a bit more gumption! As he walks forward, and just with a hearty swack on top of the mantle, you watch as it kind of breaks briefly as the ancient wood kind of cracks, but his booming voice goes and kickstarts the fire to be a large flame of a dragon's head, which scares the crap out of Gal as he falls to the ground. But as you find out, the pair of you looking once more into this large, fiery form that crackles and burns in front of you both. You can feel its breath kind of echo through your very soul, Cross. You look at its eyes, put both of its pinpoints straight onto you, as you hear a voice in your head. Thank you. You have done well. You have brought honor once more to the Order.
I'm glad that things could be helped, but also I believe that this young one could use some direction.
It goes and his eyes flare as it sees Himes. You watch as the flames kind of go from a fiery red but cool as the rage of the beast almost subsides in the sight of its long lost kin. The flames cool to the point you actually see scales, his eyes not fiery but now relaxed, a bright blue pupil, almost as if he was living once more in this room. But as you can watch as the neck kind of goes back into the mantle, that is much more than the spirit of Argynvost looking down at his boy, his son. You're so old now. I thought you were dead. Himes just looks speechless. Cross. How is
Yes.
it that my son's standing here today?
As I told you, he's been with us, and he is family to us. And I promised him that I would take him back here once things were done. And he could reclaim his inheritance, his glory, what should be his and from his family.
You notice the very hint of a tear coming from one of the dragon's eyes. He closes it softly as he repeats the question a bit more clearly. I'm asked, I understand you have told me this, and I'm grateful for that. What I wanted to know is, how did you save my boy? Where did he go?
We
How did you first...
we found him. He was chained to what was known as the murder house, and we unshackled him there. Our group broke him out, and he came to live with us. He was in a rough state when we first came across him.
Let's
Being
worry.
used by being used by a cult.
I've always had my suspicions. He looks over towards Himes, who finally speaks up as he nods. They had every chance to kill me. My family. But I'm not sure why, but they saw who I was underneath. They showed me there actually was kindness in this world, and he looks up, trying to muster as much pride as he can. They've showed me what it is to be a hero. I'll protect this land. Argynvost chuckles. Good. My knights, I have one last thing I ask of you.
What is it you require?
My son. My son is the very last of his line. The last silver dragon. The fate of our world, the very balance of the universe, rests currently in your hands. Please, rebuild the order. Look after my son. Continue showing him how to be heroes you all have been to this land. to continue being. He kind of sighs. As you can see, it's starting to flicker. To being the agents of Bahamut that this order is meant to be. The Queen of Tyranny will be returning. I can feel it already, even in the afterlife. You will need to be ready.
By Queen of Tyranny, you mean Tiamat?
Yes. Tiamat.
I understand. Her force is already moving as much as we know. The High Mummy Lord Anktapet is on the move, and trying to track her down.
I get a sense you have also personal matters to solve with her too, which is why I thought you'd be best to helping eye up the Order's preparations against her.
Understood.
I cannot offer much to both of you, but I will provide what knowledge I can left before I pass on. A boon of sorts, as my blessing as you take over this order. Ask, and I will do my best to provide.
Thank you. It is greatly appreciated.
What do you require of me, Sir Cross?
Knowledge of protection against what they can muster. Possibly to encircle Himes and this holy place so that could possibly not be under attack by them and they would be repelled.
I understand. When you feel you and the order is ready, seek out staff, the dragon's staff of Algarion. That should help prep your forces for the. You notice as Arkenvoss kind of pays a little bit as he just sighs in pain as he comes back into focus. That will be vital in your quests ahead, your destiny ahead.
I thank you. But please, we do not mean to take much of your time. I'm sure the young one has lots of questions. And after all, I'm sure it would be best spent for you two to become reacquainted with each other while you can.
He bows deeply towards you. He turns once more to Himes. Oh, my son. How can I help you prepare for the coming war? So Himes takes a large gulp as he closes his eyes to reform back in his dragon form, which takes up about half the room, but still is enough for you, Cross, to stand at his side as Galahad looks up just in a bit teary-eyed and utter wonderment at the scene. As Himes asks, as he goes and gives his proudest look towards his father's spirit, "Tell me of my mother. I want to know how you two lived. So I wish to follow in your footsteps." Draken just laughs as he goes and begins his tale. Speaking of tales, Stanimir, much like the Order of the Silver Dragon, he too had much rebuilding to bring back to this world, namely his encampment, his family. After the events of Barovia, he will go about adopting those like him, the lost, the orphaned, the sad spouses who because of Strahd and those like him, have torn asunder to form a new band of performers. Fitting, as Standemir now goes around the world telling his tales of the legend of the Misfits, the heroes of Barovia, with the help of the master story writer, Carl, and his girlfriend, Serenity, who helps with musical instruments, as the three of them go about their ways, spreading the news of all your good work, as they go and continue the proud traditions of Stanemir's family and clan. Fitting, because about 2 weeks after the events of Strahd, there was one important thing that needed to be done. Lute's passing came at a high cost, but the memory of him would surely go down in history in Barovia's legends of lore, as you all took part in his memorial. I believe one of you wanted to go about, in particular, implanting a certain something. If you so please, would you describe exactly what you wanted to plant?
Hey, Para. Pick a tree. I didn't think that far ahead.
Cider tree. Is that a tree?
Cider?
No.
You mean like apple?
No. I want birch.
A birch tree?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay. Shade had spent some time trying to find the perfect little sapling to plant in honor of her fallen friend, and eventually decides, upon finding it, decides on a birch sapling. And Flint, how well is the soil, I should say, the soil around the crypt?
In the crypt itself, it is pretty well fertile. However, I can imagine there's a certain deer among you who could really help with
Oh yes.
with that
Autumn
planting,
is
so to speak.
more than happy to help fertilize the ground so that a tree of any kind could grow in Barovia.
Then Shade will enlist in the help of her dear friend.
Hmm.
That wasn't me calling you a deer. That was okay. That was actually a pun that I kind of liked.
Unintended, winky face.
Pun not intended, but pun is appreciated. Anyway, let's go find some good soul.
Well, I think it's something.
My dear Shade, any soil can be good soil if I fertilize it long enough.
Then
Perhaps focus on picking a location and I will take care of the magic. What?
what
What?
Para posted.
Kara, no.
Shade thinks it over. I think I'd like to plant it right in front of our base. Like it's
Okay.
a church that's above the crypt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to plant it in front of this church.
Autumn kneels down and tests the soil in front of the church, feeling it with her fingers. Well, I have good news for you. Perhaps due to its proximity to the crypt itself and the bones of St. Andrel, the soil seems to be gaining life very quickly. This shouldn't take very long.
That's good to hear.
Right, so Autumn will cast plant growth on the soil. And plant growth, when cast for a long duration in a low concentration, maybe a few hours in this case, fertilizes the ground and makes it ripe for planting. Anything that is planted there will have a more bountiful harvest. Any fruit that is born will be twice as abundant as normal from this particular patch of ground. But they might have to stand around for a couple hours waiting as autumn concentrates on the soil.
In no time at all, yes, both of your handiwork does produce a beautiful, beautiful birch tree. Which, after the planting, Rita does her part to help gather those who would wish to say, well, pay their respects to one of the heroes of Barovia. It's a simple service in itself, with a few noise crackers just to keep it lively. But at one point, it does come where Rita does ask towards the crowd, would anyone like to say, if anyone wishes to come and up to speak any final words for our dear friend, now would be the time to do so.
I'll say something. First and foremost, for in remembrance of our dear friend, can somebody cast Stone of Truth?
I wish I had that spell. I do not.
I'd cast it in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
Do
that's
not worry. I can make sure it's cast. I start like punching my fist.
Oh,
I'm trying to see
Use
if anyone
a
actually
chip.
does have
I think Garfsar did.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Alright. We'll say Garf with a chuckle is smoking a thick cigar. Does go and cast Zone of Truth.
He was a noisy and jittery, gibbery bird. His doublespeak was pretty endearing, and no one like him could taunt or wisecrack at somebody more than he. He always knew what to say and when to say it. He also knew what he shouldn't say and still say it anyway. He will be sorely missed. I've never seen anybody with a fireball more readily aimed and fired than him. He was a joker, not a smoker. Maybe a midnight toker.
Oh god.
But he was a great bird, and there won't be many, if any, like him.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can step up to be the local handful like he was. Handful, but our handful.
I would also like to say something.
Follow me.
Loot was a handful. He was a bit of a troublemaker, I think we can all agree. But I know that he cared about us all deeply. And I truly believe that all he wanted to do was to help. I once wrote him a letter telling him if he didn't get his shit together, I was going to have to kill him. But if I'm being honest with you all, I wouldn't have been able to bring myself to do it. Loot was my friend. He was all of our friends. And I'm going to miss him. He was a hero. And I hope he's okay.
We'll continue.
No, I was gonna say, and I hope he's okay. That's kind of it.
He took life lightly, in the best way possible. He always had a laugh and was always ready for adventure. And I think that his willingness to give of himself and even of others pushed them into a new direction. It allowed us to live more vicariously than we otherwise might have. So although we might have considered his methods reckless, in the short time he had, he truly, truly lived more than some people do in a life. And I will miss him greatly.
There will never be a bird that could steal better than him. I hope he's able to steal from all of the gods.
I don't know why I thought you were about to say, I hope to God it never happens again.
I hope to God Luke never haunts us ever again.
Just on his grave, gone for now.
If found returned to grave.
Luke is so good he robs his own grave.
Oh man.
Ow, only that was a nat 20, it would have been perfect.
God.
Yeah.
Luke just stole our hearts from the grave.
Is there
Done that?
is there anyone wish to say anything before I move on?
I would, but I'm not good at speeches.
Loot. You've been watching all of this in the astral plane, so to speak, on top of the church, looking down on this whole service. You can feel a presence behind you, one that feels comforting and warm. Like, for those who've always heard the description of going into the light, you get that kind of like jaw kind of coming from it.
I cast Fireball at the light.
No!
You may certainly try.
Oh my god, this motherfucker's going straight into hell.
Okay, but imagine he casts Fireball, he wins, and he just raises the grave. Just starts moving.
Oh my
All right.
god.
So, as you turn around and quickly throw the fireball, or I should say, you throw the cast fireball at the direction of a elven woman who you've only seen every now and then as depicted as Sky, the Night Mother. Basically, you throw a fireball at a god.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, that's very on brand for Loot. I'm not surprised.
Let's see. She rolls a 31. So, gotta love godhood. So you welcome the fireball kind of goes and she just puts her hands up before just.
Meanwhile, in the corporeal plane, you all hear that?
The tree does, blow a little bit to the side as you kind of watch this large gust of warm air come your direction. As the fireball dissipates, you see that Sky has kept a hand up as it kind of gets sucked more into her hand as she takes the burn and claps it into her fist. Well, I take it that is a no upon passing on.
Oh god. Listen. I've been a ghost for all of how long?
At this point, it would have been about a month or so.
Yeah, no, I don't get it.
You don't get what? You've fought a great evil. You've proven yourself as a hero, and well, you've earned your place up. You know, she points out. Oh, I was always bad with this. Pardon the DM as he gets out his notes, because over the devil you kind of forgot. And part of the moment, Elysium.
You did it.
Elysium. I did.
How do you forget Elysium?
There's a lot of different material planes. Give me a break.
Yeah, but like, that's specifically the one for heroes.
I didn't know it.
know. It's not a tip of my tongue. I'm bad with names.
Oh, Flynn.
It's okay, Flynn. I didn't know it either.
I didn't know either.
Yeah, I had no idea. I know a new thing now.
You all disappoint me
Maybe
so
so.
much.
But
I mean, I already did, so it's nothing new.
I disappoint you on a daily basis. You think this is new for
Right.
me?
This is not old.
Yeah.
This is old news.
The birch branches wither slightly
Oh
in
no.
disappointment.
But yes, you've earned your place in Elysium. Considering all you've been through, I think that's the least we could do for you.
Oh, contraire. Oh, godly God. The job isn't done yet. While it is true that the land is free, and all seems to be on the up, the people are still in low spirits. My mission here was to lighten these spirits into a jovial matter. And as you can see, there's still not a palpable enough joy.
This is true. I
Joy
suppose.
has no need for a corporeal form. And so what says you? Will you leave the quest undone? I certainly won't.
Roll persuasion.
I still have luck dice.
You do. You do.
You know what? I'm gonna see if I can roll better than 26. Nah, I'm fine. I'll keep 26.
This guy chuckles. It's true. All of your meddling has put into place a series of events that will bring to sour times. Your friends probably will need all the help, or, as you say, she's a little smile, joy they can get. And for those who have forgotten what she looks like, that's Sky, the Night Mother.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That's really sexy.
Oh, let me see.
She is-
I want to see sexy.
She is an elf.
Yes.
Oh. Hello, ma'am.
Did you forget how sexy she is?
Nurse.
All right, where do I sign up for clerichood?
Now I understand.
Okay, but, like, seriously, she's
Melchior.
really pretty,
I understand now.
I don't know why I was imagining more blue, but you know what? We'll go with it.
So, is it you wish to be reincarnated?
Oh, well, you see, the thing about physical bodies is that they sort of end up, dead. Now, I'm not asking for nothing crazy like immortality. No, I wouldn't want to be here forever, ever. I was saying something more. I've played the loud and bodacious act for so far. I'm thinking something more subtle.
I think I get the picture. You did seem to really enjoy that drum. Yes.
Well, it was quite handy, especially that those few months I didn't have an arm. Also, do I have my robot arm right now, or is it like a bird arm, or is it just like glowing, like spiritual glow?
Your arm basically shifts and forms to whatever your present idea of self is. So when you basically, for those who would be watching if they could, when you're feeling most like your normal Looney self, it would be your real hands. But if you look down and thinking like, oh yeah, I have a robot hand, it would turn into the appearance of the robot hand, if that makes sense.
Could it turn into anything, or is it only those two?
Only those two, like a sense of self,
So it
basically.
Damn it! I really wanted Lou to have a crab arm.
It couldn't like slightly shift into the phantom arm.
If you feel like it was I guess, more devious, yes, it would turn into the Phantom Arm as well, because it was a part of your self during your life.
Well, great. Now I have a built-in lie detector.
Essentially, yes. Which is why Sky's kind of enjoying this talk with the Kenku. She is the deity of self-reflection, so she is. You get the impression, Boot, that she's enjoying this humble side of you.
But not just that. There is one thing that has been bothering me. That
Yeah.
that odd fellow of the night, the Phantom.
Yes.
I feel like something like that. I don't quite agree. Agree. If you catch my drift.
In what way, mortal?
Well, I did promise him somewhat of a good time, and well, that would be another one of my promises that I haven't kept, or wouldn't be able to keep.
This is true. Considering your heroics and your desires to help out your friend, I can grant what you seek. However, it would only be able to be used by a select few.
Oh, that's not a big issue.
She walks forward and... how tall is Loot again?
Never wrote that down. I'm guessing no, definitely not higher than 6 foot. So 5 something.
Okay.
Didn't you
So you
say
guys are
he
about
was,
the same
like,
height then.
You told me how tall he was at one point, Para. Let me...
5'8",
I
maybe?
never wrote it down.
5'5". Lute is 5'5".
Okay.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
Okay, so she doesn't have to bend down on one knee to look, to them. So she walks forward and first raises her hand and she goes to looks to you and says, think of your closest friend. They will have the gift, the boon from me that you seek. Her hand starts to glow as she kind of places on your forehead. Which of the Misfits do you think at this time?
Well, I mean, first thought would have been Malchior, of course, but then I thought about Shade, and that thought stuck.
You hear Sky in your head. Why her?
I feel like, well, it is true that through my journey, Malchior has certainly opened my eyes to a much more temperate kind of joy. But I feel a sort of kinship with Shade. She was one who didn't let her chaos destroy her. And I always felt that I could relate to that in sort of a way. In a way. As Malchior was a stern rock, Shade was always the one I could look to for a laugh. Even in the hardest of battles. And plus, honestly, she's had a lot of trouble with traps in the past few months. She can use all the help she gets.
Fuck you.
Sounds like a plan. She smiles as a bright light flashes your respective boot. The next day, Shade. As you wander through the crypt, you hear a distant thump thump of a drum.
Okay. Who's playing with the drum? I said hands off. Like Shade's gonna go towards it.
As you get closer, you hear it gets louder.
This is just like
Faster.
Jumanji. I don't like that.
It is
Just
exactly like Jumanji, actually.
Oh man.
It is like full on. As you find, laying out in the center of the crypt, almost like floating above the water fountain, a lone drum. A drum that you can feel a celestial power over it. It has symbols of feathers, of various moon imagery around the base.
Shade's gonna look around. Is there anyone in the area?
There is no one but you.
Cool. Okay. Whoever's screwing with me, it's not funny.
The drum's getting faster. As it starts to fall towards you. Like, just stops floating, just kind of falls to the point it might break.
Okay, Shay's gonna try and catch that.
As you catch it, you wake up in bed, still under the covers, but wrapped around your arms. You find a drum, or to be exact, a djembe of strum. It's a type of drum. A magical item that we will give you details later. I wrote them down in my book.
Yeehaw.
Congratulations, you have a haunted drum.
I do! Cool. Shade is, Shade's just gonna kinda like tap the drum. Okay, put it back on the,
She taps it and Fireball shoots out.
Oh god, don't do that!
She's just like a drum. Thanks.
Just gonna
Okay, that's a
very gently put it on the table next to her and just gonna roll over. We'll deal with that later.
soon after this. We come to Maria and Irina, the dear sisters of almost of fate in Barovia, who, while the world of their home has been slowly been building up, have been working on hunting down by far its biggest threat after Strahd. We find them now outside the Amber Temple. The sisters walking through the halls of this place find it with various scorch marks. It's not long before the pair of them come across, deep inside the temple, of a now shattered series of coffins. 5 empty canopic jars, as well as a very large bloodstain. Marina just looks to her sister before speaking. This is where you last saw them. Maria's eyes glow for a moment before she just nods. It looks like she was able to restore herself. Maria walks over and bends down to the stain where she had cut off Karloff's head. Oh, my lord. Maria gets this grimace. Sorry, sister. What the fuck are we going to do about this? Shuts out a slight laugh. Maria takes a bit of the blood in her hands, which is still wet. She pulls it a little bit before it ignites it, a little spark of flames, having it glow purple in her hands. We both know exactly what you intend to do, Irina. I've already felt it for a little bit. Your wanderlust. You plan to leave Barovia. Yes, but Irina puts up a hand. It's alright. This could serve us well. I can't leave the valley anymore. So it serves us... No, it serves Barovia best. That you can. She looks at the bloodstain down below. He was never human after all. Karloff? No, the mummy. Yes! Karloff. Do me a favor. You go out and find yourself. Look up what you can. The fiends. Devils. For someone that ancient who can survive death time and time again. Our dear Lord probably comes from that variety. Mina sighs, yes. I'll keep an eye out for you. I don't know when I'll be coming back, but after Strahd, after find out about Tatiana, I need to go figure out exactly where I am outside this series of reincarnation. And sister, Maria, these stories I've heard about you kidnapping people. You're hunters. Please tell me you're not becoming like him. Maria does nothing but just smile back. No. I mean, better than Strahd. And I swear to you, this land. I'll do everything in my power to lock every monstrosity, every horrendous thing below my keep. Maria hands on Jesu. That poor revenant deserves some company below. Nothing will ever harm us again.
Yeah.
Well, the sisters are talking about their own plans. Let's take a nice, cheerier route to check in on Wekio and Chunks and their own efforts to help rebuild the valley. In particular, we find the pair of them working on one of the many busy streets now of Vallaki, putting back together after the siege of upon the place. Some of the finer brickwork. Wekio. Chunks has done her best to be there for you, to heal up any wounds as you practice your ever-growing earth-bending powers. So, out of curiosity, how would you describe our favorite Oni would use these abilities to help rebuild the town?
Well, I like to imagine that she's trying her best to kind of use her movements and stuff like that to move bricks and rocks, and she's kind of struggling with it because it's something new to her. So every time that it doesn't go the way that she's planning it to, she just grabs the brick and throws it.
All right. In that case, give us a strength roll to see how far you chuck it.
Great. I do not chuck it far.
In your frustration, you do go and just pick it up and throw it about a hearty 5 feet, where it nearly hits a cat, which lets out a very annoyed yes.
Sorry.
You okay there, sweetheart? Chunk speaks up from behind, just trying to, with her little sign of like "Go Wekio." Even has a little like a bit of cloth she painted haphazardly your face on it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wekio turns around to her and gives kind of a half smile and says, "Never better."
Well, good. She sheepishly puts down her sign and good, because you've been working hard. It's clear you've put a lot of time into this.
course. It is one connection to my people. How could I not?
She smiles and looks down at your hands at symbol of the Phantom, which is presently only half of it's remaining. The other half vanished the second Strahd died, and you've seen similarly with Autumn, whose own mark vanished as soon as you presumed the Phantom has left to areas unknown. Does it hurt?
The mark?
Yes.
Not physically. Sometimes I do feel bad for what I've done.
You did what you had to. You. It's not like you've had much leads on your past until now.
I know, but still. That man's a crafty bastard. Not good. I doubt any sincerity in what he might want to do.
I remember. Oh, no, I remember. Yeah. Well, whatever he does do, we'll face him together.
Yes. Yes, we will.
You know, I've gotten word that a certain someone is not too far outside the valley. Should be here tomorrow. Smiles. Your, well, other lover? She winks.
Oh, yes. Yes, she should be coming by.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but worry from Thane ever since Barovia came back. Apparently she's bringing most of her pigs.
I hope she brings the cow.
I do recall there being note about a cow.
Oh, I've missed her dearly.
As if I.
It has been way too long.
A year will do that. I'll be surprised to let you outside again after this. Let us outside.
Oh, like anyone could contain me.
Especially with you being able to move Earth with your mind.
Yes, nothing will contain me. I will break every wall, either with mind-bending powers or fist.
Oh, jeez. Well, we do need an extension of the West Wing, I suppose. Speaking of which, that the tiefling, Harmony. I noticed she's been giving you a bit of an eye lately.
Oh, yes, she invited me to her folks' place.
Oh, really?
Yes, I plan to visit with her. It's a bit nerve-wracking, though.
Oh?
Never good with I don't feel like I would be good with meeting people's parents. I was not quite good with meeting Thane's parents. I believe I broke their good china by what they said. Was a mistake. Not gonna happen again. Plan not to break any china.
I'll still go and send you with an extra pair just in case.
Oh, you're so good to me.
Hey, that's... She scratches the back of her head. Well, you basically went into a deal with the devil for my memories of you. I think it's you who's been good to me.
You know I would do anything in the world for you.
Getting a bit teary-eyed, she goes in for a hug.
Akiko hugs her.
So you hear her kind of hold you close. Or as you feel her hold you close, you can hear whisper in your ear. I've missed you. I've missed us.
She just holds her tighter.
She leans this is just ever enough to look up at you and gives you a smile before she goes in for a kiss.
Oh, hell yeah, smooches.
Ass smooches. As you go for the embrace, you hear a slight crinkling of rocks. As the pair of you stop, look around and notice there's been a few of the bricks now presently floating in air around you.
Oh.
Huh. Guess this means I get more smooches? Chung sprinkles her eyebrows. Or eye ridges.
All and more. She gives her a big kiss.
Which she happily receives as you can almost feel the earth around you kind of start to come alive through just the warmth of your love.
I can't believe love and love alone is going to make me the best earthbender in the world.
Yeah. Duh, Autumn.
Ah! Ah! I'm so scared.
Well, you guys finish your embrace. Everything still remains floating up in the air. You finish. Well, what do you do with all these then? Build a bridge? Build a house? A wall? Her scales are turning a bit beet red.
Akiko is going to bring her hands together to try to smash at least two of the rocks together to see if she can make a heart.
Oh my god.
Roll, let's go with a brain check now.
Well, it's actually mind.
Roll concentration.
Concentration. Okay. Wait, which one would be concentration?
Concentration is a Constitution saving.
Okay.
Yep. With ease, you go and just slam two rocks together in a shower of gravel and dust. Shunks gets a very reasonable as the dust settles, as you have a heart floating above her.
I think I'll do that.
So,
I like it. I like it a lot. She walks over and gives you one more hug.
She gives one back.
You hear a little bit of a playful growl as she tries to go to tackle you. Do you allow it?
Hell yeah.
If you get tackled playfully into a nearby cart, which, fortunately for our viewers, perfectly lands a custom footage lands a large tarp over you. As a pair of you, as she starts giggling, if you go to, as the Sims would say, a little bit of a woohoo.
They be fucking.
Moving on. They be fucking.
We be fucking.
As you guys, I'll continue throughout the months to go and rebuild Barovia. Sari and Rita did their part to take the time to look over Lemordia up in the mountains, which for the most part has been, yes, been outside of the devastation that was seen in the lower parts of the valley, though its walls had been ravaged by the passing of Strahd's army when he was pursuing Tayet. we find the pair now repairing the front gates. The same location where a certain shade doused a good army of golems with burning hot oil. Rightfully so, the scent is still ambient, which Rita lets out a groan with a laughing Kasari nearby. How did you all stand this scent? Oh, we're kind of busy not dying a little bit, as you do. Well, I get that, but doesn't matter. She just goes and she has a gust of wind to blow what little left to breeze. And hopefully the smell away. Kasari goes about trying to hammer in a plank of wood to fix a hole nearby. Well, I hear you've been talking to the good doctor as of late. Yes, I have. You saw those contraptions he was building or used at Ravenloft. Say well about his demeanor, but that man of science could be put to good use for all of us. And what about you? Think he's going to be using you? No. I think Rita goes into her pocket and pulls out one of her Blastia. I think with the right guidance we can help the doctor and help ourselves all too. Doing a lot of good. Hopefully without blowing anyone up, right? Rita blushes a little. Yes, without blowing any of us up. But I have so much to go tell my family back home. Kasari decides, I get it. I'll follow you. Hold on, please make sure you don't get lost into some parallel dimension again for God knows how long. Rita chuckles, and after that, where do you go? I'm not sure. Rita, I think there's more I have to do. There's more I have to see. I might go with Mori and shit if they'll have me. I see them liking that. Rita puts out a hand towards Kasari. Promises to stay friends. Kasari puts down a hammer and claps it hard, almost knocking Rita off her feet. Come on, for all this time, we're more than friends. We're family. Forever. Speaking of Mori.
Who said they were coming with us? Rita or Kasari?
Kasari was thinking about it if you would have them.
Friendship.
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 Friendship. I mean, friendship, Pound's chest.
Oh.
Mori. After a good month and a half, you can feel with every passing day as the effects of Barovia, of the curse of Strahd, slowly dwindle and weaken. The more you feel your connections not only to the Raven Queen grow back to a normal state it once was, but also to your guardian. It's probably the first night you feel, one could say, the most clear in a lifetime, though it's probably at this point been more close to a year. You feel like tonight is the night to go about trying to convene with them. Which is where you kind of find yourself now, we'll say, right outside the crypt in the streets of Palaki, which is now adorned by this point by various rock carts that Vecchio has fastened up in various archways everywhere.
She's gotten good at that.
That she has. In fact, we'll say Vecchio.
Yes.
If you're gonna go and stylize these hearts like you would handcrafted it, with your own two big mitts, what would they look like?
I feel like they would be like if she was to make them and stuff like that, they'd be kind of jagged and not exactly perfect.
So intentionally kind of wild, eh?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So these jagged hearts are almost more abound about the place than the burgomaster's signs of all will be well that wants to be all around the city. So on this night, where would you like to go to commune with those we spoke about prior?
I'll go sit under Lute's tree. It seems like a fitting place.
That sounds perfect. But at this point, we'll say that autumn has taken some time to help make it more fertile. So it's about twice the height it once was to be a nice, very large, lovely birch tree. And this current kind of night breeze is swaying ever so perfectly with the night air. Who would you like to go and speak with first?
Let's do the Raven Queen first.
All right. How do you focus yourself to speak with her?
I kind of just sit under the tree and close my eyes and see where it takes me.
Give us an Arcana roll, please.
Okay. 17.
Perfect. About 5 minutes into your meditation, hear the flapping of wings. As you look at the sea, a raven has landed not too far on a branch above you. Looks down at you curiously.
Hello again. I'll send Mordecai up to sit next to it if he's with me. I assume he's with me.
He is with you, yes.
Yeah. I'll send him up there to sit next to it.
Mordecai pulls up perfectly, and the other even allows it. Though it still looks strictly at you. It doesn't speak through its beak, so to speak. Though you do hear a voice in your mind. Hello again, Melchior. I hear you have questions.
Oh, don't I always?
I'll do what I can to guide.
I'm sure that we were successful, but it came out, unfortunately.
Say that again.
I said I'm sure you've already understood that we were successful, but it came at a cost. And I was curious. Is Lou okay?
He was... Yes, in short, yes. He followed you for a time. I felt his presence up until the memorial. I think... Sounds like, if I didn't make any guess, he may have made an agreement with one of... You hear it chuckle. The higher-ups. I would assume he's on his own way to stay close to you. Stay close to you all. To be able to continue his little level of mischief.
Oh, that I'm glad to hear. What are your plans now?
Now, I suppose go call in a few favors that I'm now due.
Anything that's needed of me? Specific?
Really? He's still willing to help me after all this time. I thought he'd be angry with me. I was going to give you a break. A vacation is that what they call it?
I don't really do vacations, I guess. If you don't have anything to do for me, I'm sure others will. And
Oh.
I'm not angry with you. You didn't. If what recently is correct, influence on Strahd.
Yes. I'd be lying if it did. Oh,
Sorry,
go ahead.
no, go
No,
ahead.
go, please, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, and I technically still owe you my life, I think. I don't really know how it all works.
Suppose. I was there, during the night Madame Ava passed on to the beyond.
Really?
Yes.
Did you take her? I don't really know what you do. To be honest.
I suppose I could tell you, or I could let you find out on your own. It's more fun that way. But yes, I did.
Research.
Oh yes. Our little bookworm of sorts. But yes, I did take her that night. She, like you, had made a pact with me. By all sorts, I guess one could say she belonged to my realm. But don't fear, she's being treated well. She was her brother's keeper, after all.
As long as she's continued to be treated well, then I'm happy. She was a strange woman, but yeah.
Yes. If you are willing to continue to serve my needs, I would suggest this. In your journeys ahead, in your time ahead, keep an eye out for the masks of Severin.
The masks of
Severin. Severin.
what are those?
I have only heard whispers, but from what I understand from a friend, the cult of Tayet will be seeking those soon for their means. Anything important to them, I find should be important to you.
Then I'll definitely keep my eyes and ears open. The last thing I want is for her to have what she needs. If you'll permit a personal question.
Yes.
I've recently found. I mean, you were there. I found out that one of my parents has. I was wondering if you could let me know who they are, which they are.
Oh. She hesitates for a few moments before sighing. It was your father.
I see. I only hope that he got a bear. Let's see. That's what he would have wanted.
Not yet. You will. My sight in that realm is not as strong as I would wish it to be, but I know that he still needs to be put to rest. I think would assume he would like if you would be able to do that for him.
I will.
I am sorry, Melchior. I wish I could do more for him.
It's okay. I know that it's a lot to ask.
Perhaps I at least can do this for you. Raven kind of flies up, and it almost bursts into a shower of feathers, blinding your sight for a moment. As the last one falls, you see the queen herself standing before you. Bending low as she grabs the last one before it hits the ground and holds out the feather to you.
I'll take.
Once you do find your father again, you can use this to ask him, at least speak with him for one last time. So at least be able to settle matters. Remember, at best ask him 3 questions, but at least you'd be able to go and have a final few words with him.
Thank you. That means a lot. I've wanted to apologize, so hopefully this will give me a chance.
She smiles. Knowing you and your friends, you will have that chance. As she stands and backs up, the mist kind of swallow or envelop her as she disappears into the dark. Leaving you alone
Actually, is it
once
kind of
more at
like?
the tree. Yes.
Actually, is it kind of just like wipe away the little moisture that's been building up in my eyes?
No.
I look up to Mordecai and say, I believe there's probably one more person I should try to speak to. I'm sure she's worried. Maybe she's not. Guess we'll find out.
How do you go about finding your connection with Taladriel? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Good. Good.
I'll kind of take off like the little ring that my parents, the necklace that my parents had given me, and I kind of just like hold it. See if that gives me a solid connection to her.
Okay. Give us a religion check, please.
16.
16. Someone's running well today. Okie dokie. As you do, you can, in your vision, watch as you would think is the moon at first, but it's more like a sun, kind of slightly before it kind of cuts through and creates like a beam of light in the sky. As you feel warmth of comfort of what was it, like a fresh spring day starting to start to envelop you as you've gained your connection to your guardian, to your guide.
That's a feeling. Are you there?
You don't hear any words, but you do feel the confirmation, the connection, the warmth of comfort grow.
Well, even though I can't see you, I hope you're listening. I know it's been a while. And I know that you didn't tell me to go to Barovia. But I hope what I did there brings you some level of pride.
At first, you ever come with a bit of hints of like worry. Almost feel like you've disappointed a parent. But that quickly grows into a sense of pride, of joy. At your hip, you can feel a bit of the sun sword actually vibrate in recognition of just the good the pair of you have done, so to speak. There's kind of a whisper to the wind. It's quiet at first, but it kind of grows with every growing gust of just. Before it finally becomes clear, as you hear, Melchior, it's good to see you. We have so much to catch up on.
It's good to hear you. We do.
The light starts going to focus more as the image of a woman comes into place. Let's see. Go with. For those who, over the table, the woman herself is a woman with blonde hair similar to Melchior's, but with two large, almost pristine white wings, a long staff in one hand, but with a gown that gives off a sense of divinity, of almost priesthood. As you sit there in your vision of your time, which is very much a night, she, in her presence, almost has like, is surrounded by day. As if the pair of you are like at the very cusp, at like the barrier of like, if those who've been there, at the cusp of a solar eclipse. Even though you both kind of have the appearance of being polar opposites, you feel at one with her. She kind of floats down and rests her legs below her. She sits in front of you. She smiles before just asking you with earnest. Start from the beginning. Tell me everything.
Okay. I'll sit down too. Well, I'm already sitting. Never mind.
Yeah, I presume you were sitting. I hope you were sitting. Otherwise, it'd be really weird.
Yeah. Well, it all started in a bar in Cinderfell. And I'll go to actually go through the whole thing.
You don't have to. You've done this once for writing. It took hours.
Yeah, and the footage got fucked, and I'm still sorry about that.
started in a bar in Cinderfell. Ended up in Barovia. We toppled a vampire lord. You know, as you do.
We'll say that you spend the hour or many telling the whole tale to Taladriel.
If you want an exact time, it takes about 5 hours to go over the story of this fucking campaign.
You're muted.
I said probably more now that we've added shit.
Yeah.
Probably.
6 hours.
Yep. That sounds about right. Please continue.
Sounds about right. Okay. Near the tail end, she can see there's like a question, or she gets assume. She stops partway through just to ask. I get the sense you wish to ask me something.
I'd like to ask you a lot of things. But I suppose the most pressing is I heard you might have helped my parents leave Ember Cove. What happened there?
She gets a confused look across her face. That I may have helped?
The reading wasn't clear.
I hate to say it, Melchior, but I have not been in contact with your parents in a time, in an age. Did something happen?
Well, it seems there was some turmoil, and with the help of some church, and my father didn't make it, and it seems my mother has lost herself, so I have to fix that. I owe them that. They might think I'm dead, but well, she might think I'm dead, but that doesn't mean I have to leave them alone.
Stand. I'm not sure I can do it for your father. But I'll start searching for your mother.
I would appreciate that. You know, it's been a while since you've given me advice or a path to follow. I plan to go to Ember Cove to see how it's doing. Is there anything else that I should keep?
While you're there. Yes, like what I would advise as you travel. She sighs. You and your friends have set off a series of events where you all will need every kind of ally you can muster. As you go about your journeys, take heed to make connections, form alliances, bring those to your side. A divergence is coming that Versailles has not seen since, I would say, the formation of the gods.
I will.
Good. Tell me more about the heart. She smiles as she tries to settle back in for the rest of your story.
I'll continue with the heart story.
Okay. Speaking of stories going on across the land, Emil, in particular, made a point to go look into the Phantom's old hangouts in Kresik at his abbey. He and his warriors didn't find much left of the Phantom presence. All the buildings are now empty. Wendigos he had once controlled and corralled now were about the grounds, were more wild than anything. Almost like discarded soldiers that the Phantom did not need anymore. But all the constructs that Cross and Wacky Co. came across were also gone as well. In time, Emil and his clan would actually go and claim Kresik for their own. They made sure to burn down the abbey to make sure that the Phantom, whether he be for good or evil now, his past remained a stain upon this land that they wanted to erase. After the last ember vanished, they did find one last gift from the Phantom. The foundation stone of the church itself had been carved into with elegant font and with his trademark symbol of his mask, the words, "So long and thank you for all the entertainment. Your Phantom, your friend, your neighbor, Riker." Speaking of Legends of Lore, as time went on and throughout Barovia, the months after things cooled down, our favorite Goliath hunter, Garfsar, kind of took to fading into the background, sensing that his time helping the Misfits and all that, and having these people here, had been put off to a good place. The hunter, like many like his kind before, got onto his horse Gypsy. Now actually starting to, after Barovia and came back to light, a little help of some friends, was now alive once more and in good health. Rode off into the sunset to help out other places around the land, doing what he could where he could to hunt down all evil and those that aligned with it. It wasn't long before legends of the very large, bare-headed Goliath hunter became the go-to man you'd seek out when it came time to take out some nasty beast. A boogeyman for the boogeyman of sorts. Scribs, by the 2.5 month mark, having done what he could to return, all the things he borrowed as that he could, at least he still had on his hand. And with Buddy Jr. in a fresh new jar, along with his sisters, Penelope and Loot. Working title, the script's considered.
God.
Made their way to expand the franchise of sorts. Last time someone saw Scribs, he was making his way back towards Cinderfell, where he was going to go set up his wares one night. Found that the alley looked a little bit different than usual. His pals, for its worth, were cautious, even though they now were apparently wearing nice fedoras, and Buddy Jr. in her jar was wearing what looked like a tiny trench coat.
Oh my god.
realized that they weren't exactly in the right probably reality is normal. Well, this seems to be a bit of a pickle, yes? Oh, you got that right! Scribbs heard as he turned around to see, coming out of a large, long, at least for those at the table would know, a limousine, almost cartoonishly so, as out stepped a tabby. Name's Dasher. I got the business proposal for you. Oh, do tell, yes. If you see less, I can help. If you need something special, I can acquire it, yes? Dasher goes to his pocket and pulls out a cartoonishly large cigar. Buddy, do I have the score of the century for you? Tells me, what do you know about Baldur's Gate? More on that later.
Okay. Alright. So my theory, sort of wrong. It's fine. Bastard's gonna die by my hands.
Which one?
Every bastard. Continue, Flint.
I mean, alright, well, at the very least, you got one off your list.
God. 3 months after the fall of Strahd, on the very start of autumn, it's basically almost a year after you guys all met at the Collared Duck Inn at Cinderfell. A certain wedding of sorts is about to take place between our lovable Song of Autumn and our favorite goofball, Barda. Autumn. We presently find you, we'll say, in a tent on the grounds of where the ceremony is going to take place. You've got everything ready, everything's good, your outfit's all set to go. With you now is your present maid of honor, Shade.
Hi.
Do tell us how your mind's doing right now.
I know I shouldn't be nervous, but I'm very nervous. I hope I don't forget the vows that I tried to memorize and probably spent all of the past few days making sure I had memorized.
You can't just read them? Do you not have them written down?
Yes, but are you not supposed to memorize?
Autumn is cutting out for me.
But are you not supposed to memorize these things? Oh my god.
Hey.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Shay's gonna put her hands on her shoulders. You can memorize them if you want. Some people read them, some people memorize. It's just whoever has a better memory at this point. Do you have a good memory?
Maybe I'd better pocket them just in case my memory's not best at the moment.
I mean, if anything, if you forget your lines, just speak from your heart.
Okay. Thank you for doing this for me, Jade. It was very, very big responsibility that you have willingly taken.
What can I say? I have a thing for taking responsibilities. But you do owe me one for putting me in this dress.
I think you look quite cute.
Thank you. You still owe me one. You're not getting out of this.
I wouldn't dream of wiggling out of it. You are my sister. I will give you anything I can if you ask for it.
I'll remember that. And I guess the same goes for you.
Shade, now I'm suddenly feeling more anxious than I did before. What do you mean you'll remember that?
Just if I need a favor, it's fine. Don't panic. Please. It's
To be honest,
okay.
I thought that something like this would ever happen. So I'm at a bit of a loss. I've spent at least a month coordinating this.
A month well spent, and it's gonna go out fine. And it won't happen. Don't let this get you all anxious. But if there is a
I'm
flub,
already anxious.
chill. If there's a flub, it'll be fine. Because everybody that's gonna be out there right now loves you very much, especially the man you're marrying. I would hope he loves you very much since he is marrying you. So it'll be okay.
It will be fine. I know it will be fine. Perhaps it's a little stage fright is all.
That's exactly what it is.
Jitters and excitement and...
Listen, you killed Strahd. We all killed Strahd, but you helped in killing Strahd. If you can do that, you can get over a little speech. Now take a deep breath and go knock him out.
Sure. Suppose I will.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Anytime.
I'll remember that.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
You hear a bit of a knock at the door, or I guess at the frame. Cross, having been selected to be the bride's father figure, you've been sent in to check in on the darling bride. He's gone.
And father goes out for some cigarettes
Oh no!
and
We
does
look
not
in the
return.
chamber and we look in the chamber and cross the dagger in his back.
No.
The murder mystery begins.
No, where did he go?
Okay, so you left off before the break. Cross being selected to be the father figure for Autumn. You've been sent there to check in on her.
Well, you look lovely as always.
Thank you. Is it already that late?
It is, yeah, the hour's approaching.
Okay. I don't know if I'm forgetting anything else. Autumn finds a pocket, a rare pocket, and stuffs some parchment into it. Presumably, where she wrote her vows, just in case. Thank you for doing this. I'm glad you didn't mind it. I know that my traditions are strange and they don't quite fit this situation because my blood family is not alive, but you are all my family, so I'm grateful that you were willing to do this.
No worries. I'm a manhood or thing or whatever that doesn't have much tradition, so it's all good.
Thank you.
Plus, I'm sure there's much weirder traditions out there. This one doesn't seem that strange.
No, I'm sure. I suppose Autumn stands up and approaches the door. I suppose I'll best be out there then.
Yep. So, how do we do this? Do I hold your hand? Take my arm? How do you want to do this?
Oh, well, you can escort me however you like, to the meeting place by the fire. Yes.
Okay.
Maybe. Okay.
I think
As
that
Cross
was
is
Cannon and Cross. Yeah.
Thank you. That's beautiful. I
As-
appreciate it.
as Cross leads you out the way. Meanwhile, we're reminded a little bit. Let's go check out Barda's tent. Right now, he's sitting almost prone on the ground, shaking up and down, going, "She's gonna kill me. She's gonna kill me. She's gonna kill me."
Oh no.
Wackio, being his best man, you see poor Barda just like starting to kind of sweat bullets. She's gonna kill me. To kill me.
She won't kill you. Her hands are tiny. She cannot kill you.
Bloody
Your hands are.
Wackio, the vows. I forgot my vows at home. I'm not good with remembering. She is going to kill me. She is going to kill me.
Hey. In this case, just speak from heart. I'm sure it'll be fine. Do not worry. If things go bad, I can create the distraction.
Like what? Like you're thinking like a fireball? That could work? Yeah. No, that'd be bad. That'd be really bad. We shouldn't do that. Should we?
I do not know fireball, but I have fist.
I like fists. I could do good with fists. Do you think I could punch vows? Does that work? Oh god.
That's... doesn't work like that.
Wait, what?
It's getting hot in here, or is it just me? He's like pulling on his collar.
She just gives him a rough pat on the back. It will be fine. It will be fine.
But she is perfect in every way. She deserves perfection. I'm not good with words. Like, now? No.
Take
Wait,
big, deep breaths.
Okay. He's holding it in. Now what? Now what? No.
That?
Should I let it out?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I'm getting dizzy. That kind of helped a little.
Now think about this. If you had to let out every little feeling that you had, everything you would want to say, what would you say to her?
I would say that she has brought me untold happiness that I thought I would never be able to experience. That sounds dumb. Why did I say that? I know, it should be more eloquent. Was it good?
It was good.
Oh, Wackio, how did your weddings go?
Well, I spiked the punch, and I punched a man. But I don't think you should do that for your wedding.
No, probably not.
Like I said, it will be okay. Just speak from your heart. Just speak from the beginning. How you feel.
The beginning?
Yes.
I like that. I think I can do that. His look is getting calmer, Wackio, though his leg has not stopped tapping on the right side. He goes and tries to stand up and brush himself off. Like, how do I look? Does everything look like prim, proper?
Yes, you look great.
Thank you. Shai looks down at the ground in front of her, going and giving you the heartiest hug he can manage.
She's gonna hug him back. She's getting so many hugs.
He lets you go, like, okay. He goes and tries to pat himself. Shit. Where are the gifts? Can you go get Milky-Or? Just real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Like, yeah. You might have. Melchior being set up as the father figure of Barda.
Hello.
Where are you right now, buddy?
Wherever that person would be, I guess. I don't know anything about weddings.
Barda would think that makes two of us.
I guess I would be by the door waiting.
Okay, we'll say that in that case, you've heard most of this, and hear him, calling out for you.
I go in. Hey, everything okay in here?
Maybe. Maybe, yes. Barda tries his best to give a look of confidence. Pray chance, do you remember where I put the gifts for the ceremony?
Do I remember where you put the gifts for the ceremony?
Over
the table?
Over the table, you wouldn't, actually, because he actually never gave you any gifts or anything of that sort.
I don't. But I can see that you're a little bit flustered right now, a little bit frustrated. I'm sure if you take just a moment to calm down, it'll come right back to you.
Yeah.
I like walk over and I give him like a pat on the back. I'm like, it's okay, bud. It's okay. Just breathe.
I tried that. Wackio helped me through that. It quite helped, but I'm dizzy enough as it is.
So, what are these gifts? Because I don't believe I know.
He starts to talk with the finger point up in the air before he just goes and points towards you. You actually should have known that. That's a surprise. I have spoken too much. That's right. Harmony. Harmony has them. I think I saw her bedazzling them out by the fire. Yeah.
Bedazzling? I'll go check. Wait right here.
He gives you some thumbs up.
I give him a thumbs up back. and I'll go try to find Harmony.
All right. While you do, Barda looks over towards you again, Wackio.
Mhm.
I hear you two have been spending some time together, right?
Yes. Is that suspicious?
No, not at all. I think it's heartwarming. It's nice to know that Autumn and I are not the only ones that are getting along, if you know what I mean. uh, she worries about, well, making the rest of you, well, feel off.
There would be no reason to feel off. We are all family here.
That's true. Hey, buddy. I call best men at your wedding. It gives you a nervous wink.
Deal.
Melchior, you happen to find Harmony using the finest of glitter, and just like making sure everything looks shiny, leading from the two bridal tents, so to speak, up into this fiery pit, which is already growing. It's quite large and lovely in the woods. Surrounding the pit are various people you've all met on your journey. Seen as not really. It can be said that all of you guys have not really had a side, so to speak. They're all kind of together in their own ways. You see the Mardikovs. You see Scribs with his little kids. TikTok has even taken the time to come back a little bit, though he has been pushed to the far back because of his loud eating of the snack table. But it's an affair that feels like one final goodbye with the whole motley crew that was the Crest of Strahd adventure. You can Rita, Kasari, and Argy are all side by side. They've managed to find matching outfits. But Harmony, to say the least, does see you walking up before going, "Hi!"
Hey.
I are you here for some glitter too? She gets a
I
handful
think
out to get ready to throw it at you. No.
I think I'm good on the glitter. Appreciate it though. Barda said
Okay.
that you might have been working on something for him, but I can't know what it is.
Oh, you mean the gifts? Yeah, we can't know what's inside the boxes, but I made sure they are safe inside my backpack. She goes, turns around, and it has this big old painted, probably from Scribs, glitter paint, a large heart with the letters A plus B on the inside with a big old arrow sticking through it.
Oh, it's lovely.
Thank you. Made it myself.
You did a great job. But he's kind of freaking out. Does he need to have them over the table?
Not
Like, am I going to pick these up or?
over the table.
Yeah.
It's much like getting the ring passed to him.
Okay.
He just needs to know where they are.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, you hold on to it, keep it safe, and I will let him know that they are present and accounted for.
Sounds good. Okay, I'm gonna get back to making sure that every single leaf here has the appropriate amount of glitter. Don't tell anyone. I'm using squirrels and birds to help me.
That's excellent delegation. Great job.
Thanks.
And I'll make my way back to the room.
Okay. Well, does she have a hand on them?
She does. They are safe. They are with Harmony.
Okay, good. And it's at this time you start to hear change in the music out in the area, cueing the start of the ceremony. Let's see. Pardon me for a moment. Come on, you hunk of junk. Load the song, please.
Never.
Fine, I'll just go with this one. It is still pretty. I suppose it's time, eh?
Definitely.
All right. He gets up and heads outside the tent. All of you take your places around close to the fire. Emil stands up near it before he goes and nods to the crowd. Thank you all for coming today to celebrate the joining of Barda and Song of Autumn as they become one through the rite of the 7 steps. Seeing as this is none accustomed that's new to many of you, I'll do what I can to explain the significance of each step and vow. He nods to the far end to a few of his tribesmen to go and open up the respective tents to properly reveal, for the first time, the groom and the bride to one another. Barda, seeing his lovely bride, any words he had is just gone as he sees the beauty of the soon-to-be wife. Autumn, what thoughts are going through your head right now?
Autumn had been murmuring to herself the vows to try and not forget them. At some point along the way, she had mentioned to Shade the importance of the vows and had started to explain the rite of the 7 steps, perhaps rambled a little bit much, but whatever words were on her tongue kind of fade as she sees Barda before her, and she feels a sense of calm, as she always seems to do when Barda is near. She feels more calm. And she smiles very gently. And seems a bit shy still, but more sure of herself than she was 5 seconds ago.
Emil continues explaining what the couple are doing as they come forward. The bride and groom will meet here at the fire, join hands. On my left will be the groom's family, or at least those who have become that in this time since their arrival here in Barovia. Wacky and Mori, this is where you'd be standing. He then gestures to the other side to similarly say, over here would be the brides with Cross and Shade. You all take your places. Harmony goes in front of both Barda and Autumn, showering flowers along the way to guide their path. The pair of them, though. Why is this song playing? God damn it, Scrim!
Scrim's dances
Oh my
into the
gosh.
little fire.
That was such a moment ruiner. Holy shit.
Scripps ruins everything!
But that's gross.
Man!
Red.
First he
All right.
starts a mafia, now he does this.
Autumn, this is
All
so
right.
pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry it got distracted with Scribs, but it's really, really pretty.
Thank you.
The dress is
Scribs goes in.
amazing.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying the dress was amazing. Go ahead.
Mhm. Scribs goes and bops the top of Buddy Jr.'s tank. Shh! Ow! The big day, yes? Apparently Buddy Jr. is a bit of a bard.
God.
But despite all of these shenanigans, Autumn and Barda's eyes are just locked as they walk down towards the fire. As they reach the center, the meal continues. The couple, to show the appreciation for each other's respective families, will give the gifts to signify their ability to support and protect one another. Barely being able to break eye contact, Barda goes to Harmony, picks up a pair of boxes, and walks over towards Cross and Shade. He looks teary-eyed in your eyes a little bit before puts them in your pair of your hands. I promise to protect my my wife till the day I die. Autumn?
Once Barda has given the box one each to Shade and Cross, she goes to Harmony and takes 2 boxes of her own and takes them over to Wakiko and Melchior. She gives one to each of them and says, I vow to support and nurture my husband until the day I die.
Neil bows in before continuing. Our beloved guests will link hands around the fire to form a large circle. Between them, our bride and groom will stand. We will proceed to take 7 steps clockwise around this fire, and we'll commence making vows at each step. When you two are ready, please begin at the first spot.
Table, who takes the first step?
That
Over the table, who takes the first step?
Barda goes,
Oh, for God's sake.
Barda just
No.
shuffles over to the first. Oh, okay.
Are you sure? I mean, if Barda is not comfortable, Autumn can take the first step. Usually, traditionally, it's the groom, but that's okay.
Barda, noticing he's waited too long, brushes and walks over to the side and just gives a hearty smile at his bride.
Autumn blinks and hesitates a moment. And then it takes her a second, but her eyes widen a bit as she realizes that perhaps she didn't explain to Barda exactly how this works. In all her preparation, she didn't quite, they didn't rehearse these steps very much. So, in breaking with tradition, she takes a deep breath and takes a large stride forward alongside the fire. Now, over the table, is Emil going to be explaining the vows as they go, or did he already explain everything?
He's going to. So
Okay.
he'll explain what the vow is, and then each will give their...
Okay.
Emil chuckles as Barda just does his best to make his soon-to-be wife proud. The first vow is related to sharing responsibilities evenly for home, hearth, and children. Autumn, if you will.
Autumn takes a breath and smiles. I take the first step with you, beloved. We begin our journey together. I vow to work alongside you, to build our home, our hearth, and our family with all the efforts of my hands, mind, and heart. Together we will create our life and sustain it.
I vow to... Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry, I wasn't sure if he remembered his vow. Go on.
I do. I was just taking a dramatic gulp for Barda as he caught
Okay.
himself. I vow to provide to you, to make sure you never are left wanting, that there's always warmth, joy, and happiness in our lives. Even if it means I kind of cries for a little moment before just even if it means I fail you some days, I will still always strive to be the best husband I can be. Emil vows. The second vow is related to faithfulness, loyalty to one another, only each other, and to their union.
Autumn takes another step. Her trying to create a stride length that would work so that it's not too small for Barda, but not too large for her. And she says, the second step I take with you, beloved. I will follow where you go, as you will follow me. Only you I will follow. Only you I will love. I will have no other but you, my husband. My eyes and heart are yours. Blushes a little bit. Glances away only for a second. But smiles at Barda, waiting for him to take the next step.
He follows in turn. You are my pack now. I will not ever turn away from our tribe to be, nor will I ever falter in being there when you need me. There is no one more important to me in these lands than you. I vow this day. He gives you a warm smile as Emil continues. The third vow is related to blessings in life, including fertility and good harvests.
Autumn takes another step. She pauses for a moment and puts a hand on her stomach and says, I take the third step with you and count myself blessed. I vow to share with you all of my blessings, for they are ours now to enjoy together. Let us together celebrate the fruits of our labors and all our good fortune. Each child we have, and each harvest we reap. All that I have that is good in this world is yours. It is ours to share.
Barda takes a step forward and puts a hand on her belly as well. I never thought I would ever come to the point of having a family of my own. I always thought it'd be something more than a tool. You've shown me that is not the case. You've shown me that I can have great life, the future. And I vow, take those lessons and to grow from them like a mighty tree forevermore with you. The fourth vow is related to steadfastness in times of trouble.
Autumn places a hand on top of Barda's before she slips away from him to take the fifth. By now, they are more than halfway around the fire. Beloved, I take the fifth step with you, and am filled... Oh, shoot, fourth step. I'm sorry. Oh, no. Autumn blushes and shakes her head quickly. The fourth step I take with you, beloved. Steadfast and true. In times of need and of trouble, I vow to support you, to defend you, to stand alongside you. When you ache and are broken, I will tend to your wounds. When loss and grief strike you, I will sit with you to comfort you, and sit with you in your sorrow. In your darkest moments, I will be beside you to help you find the light again.
Barda comes forward. I will stand like the mighty wall in front of any that come our way. Anyone dares to harm us, I will swear to fight them, no matter who they are, whether it be Wakio or Mori, or I'm actually getting kind of angry just thinking about it. Breath. You will find no fear with me in your life. He does give a slight eye over towards Maury. He's kind of like just eyes him up for a brief moment as he just lets out a little bit of steam.
Before a fight breaks out.
Autumn her eyelashes.
Autumn, without looking at any of the others, places a hand on Barda's arm to try and calm him. Says, they are our family. You won't have to fight them. But I thank you.
He turns back and smiles at you as he gives a hearty wink. No worries, I would win anyway.
Barda.
Emil, the fifth vow is related to sharing all joys with one another.
Autumn swiftly takes the next step, clearing her throat, smiling and trying to stifle the giggles that were going to come forth, to be a little more serious again. Beloved, I take the fifth step with you, and am filled with joy as I think of becoming your wife. Just as we share in our trouble, so I vow we shall share our triumphs. Every laugh and smile of yours I will cherish. I will seek to bring you delight and celebrate with you all your victories. All times good and plentiful and happiness I will share with you. She holds out her hands.
Barda, joyfully, I don't say he happily takes him as he comes forward. And I vow to make sure to always be there, to make you laugh, to make sure that you never go a day with any hint of despair. You've seen so much darkness. No, we have seen so much darkness to cry another day. This I swear you will see nothing but light from here on forth. The sixth vow is related to operating as one mind, body, soul, for the interest of each other in unity, no longer separate in goals or desires.
Autumn releases his hands and steps again back towards where Emil is, back towards where the start of the fire was. Only one step after this remains. Another step I take, beloved, the sixth step alongside you. No longer will I live for my own interests, but I vow that our minds, bodies, and souls shall be as one, considering and bolstering each other. Interests, hopes, and dreams aligned in unity. Our desires are no longer separate. What is important to one is important to the other. She places a hand on her heart, and it looks like she's starting to tear up.
Bardo walks forward while slamming his chest. And I will make sure that the White Stag will always be proud of you, of us. Our interests are shared now. It is my solemn duty to make sure that you are able to live with those traditions, to be able to go forth and do what you must be done. Nothing short of fate will ever dissuade me. And the seventh vow is related to longevity, that they shall love and cherish until they perish.
Autumn takes the last step, which lands her back where she had started, and turns to look at Barda. The seventh step I take with you, beloved, and we are nearly one. I vow that I shall love and cherish you all my days, and that all these vows will be upheld, as long as I have breath. As long as the White Stag grants me life. And White Stag willing, though my soul he may have, I will love you beyond my death, beyond my days. At this point, she's kind of wiping her face, just trying to retain composure, but she's cracking.
Barda comes forward and grabs your hands into his. He's close to the point, ideally for only you can hear. Autumn, I vow to make our time together be a love that poets will write about, that bards will sing about. To the very end of time will our life together be known. For I do not plan to die anytime soon. The end comes for us all, but our time together will be eternal from here and henceforth. He bends up so the whole crowd can hear. To this I swear. Emil goes and just the whole crowd before saying, now you will feel no rain for each of you will be shelter for the other. Now you will feel no cold for each of you will be warmth for the other. Now there is no loneliness. Now you are the two persons, but there's only one life before you. Barda looks over towards him with a bit of an eye like, now? Yes. You may now kiss the bride. And with that, Autumn you feel yourself get gently picked up as Barda brings you in for a hearty kiss. The whole crowd to see. And I'll pronounce you both husband and wife.
Woo! Sorry.
Returns the kiss passionately, and she, as she hears cheers and howls, she giggles through the tears, holding on to Barda with one arm, but still wiping her face with the other as she smiles. She takes a moment to reach out and touch the earring on his ear, the silver one that she had given him before the ceremony, so that they would match, so that there would be a sign of their union that others could see.
Aww.
No.
They grew up
And
so
with-
fast.
They do.
He's really committed to it.
I like to imagine that Autumn side of the family, aka Shade Cross, are probably the louder motherfuckers in this area.
I don't know, I think Wakio could probably make some noise.
Is this a challenge? Are you challenging Wakiko?
Well,
She's ready to scream.
might as well, because after this, the party starts to celebrate this union.
Party. Hell yeah.
Party hardy.
Time to party hardy. And sure enough, it is a party a night to remember. As all your friends and family take the time to congratulate the couple, to go and to share all kinds of warm and happy memories. Their legends are made of the drinking contests that are had, of the of the mistakes that are made. But at the near the end of the night, all the Misfits do find themselves once again together, close to the fire, with their gifts in hand. Barda, who at this point I would say has somehow managed not get any stains on his coat. However, a bit of his tail is a bit singed from being getting too close to the fire.
I've
That's
been,
it.
I've been following him just like throughout the night, prestidigitating away any stains.
Nice.
Aw.
My man! Coming in for the win.
Aw.
Best wingman still for life, right?
I think Barda says with a smile, a little bit kind of wobbly from drinking. Now would be the time, better than ever, to open the gifts we made, and Harmony as well has joined you all with a gift of her own.
Hell yeah. Shade's gonna open hers.
Inside, you open up to reveal the same matching badge. It is a wonderfully intricate design of a silver dragon with blue lapis lazuli gemstones that is almost a splitting image of Himes.
Whoa.
Considering all of us had met long ago and became friends, a family, through a wild dragon in the basement of that horrendous home. It only seemed fitting that we share that mark together.
Even if I wasn't there?
Shush, you were there in spirit. Besides, Himes loves you to death.
Because of my chocolate. I guess I do have a soft
Exactly.
spot for the guy.
And really, what we have done here The dragon, it is a symbol of how we rescued the land together. Himes was in chains when we found him, practically dying and decaying. Instead of killing him, as we were meant to save our own lives, we found a way to befriend and release him. And in turn, he helped us save this land, and the way we've approached things as misfits, we've done it differently, and it's worked. We've been different from our predecessors, and the land is free now. And so I drew up some sketches, and Bardo did wonderful handiwork to make these. But each of us, I feel, is part of this order. The resistance, well, we're no longer really resistance to Strahd, he's dead. But our order, the Misfits, under the badge of the Silver Dragon, can live on no matter where we are. And truly, Autumn, her lip quivers a little bit. 9 years ago, I lost my family, my tribe, everything. I was alone in this world. For 8 years, I had nothing and no one. And now, against all I ever believed could happen to me, I have a tribe. I have a family. I have a husband and a child. And I have all of you, who I can call my brothers and sisters. I cherish every one of you, and I'm so blessed and so happy. I love you. Thank you so, so much. No matter where we may find ourselves, close or far apart, you will always have a seat at our table. So please take these as a sign of our friendship, of our family, that we may be under the badge of the Silver Dragon.
You got it. Will do.
It's like, yup!
Of course.
Thank you.
Besides, I could hear Arms and Cross could use a few people to call upon for their little order going over there at Argynvost.
Oh yeah, you're not kidding. With the former order laid to rest, it is up to some of us to begin anew and become a beacon not only to Barovia but this whole plane of existence. And we're obviously, heroes in our own right, I suppose. So any and all that are willing and wish to join the Order of this Silver Dragon and Argynvost, more than willing to. You guys are most trusted and closest thing to family that a guy can have, and we all have. So thank you for this gift that will be very much cherished, and many blessings, many moons, and years to you guys. I don't even have to say take care of each other because I know you're gonna do that. Okay, yeah, I said my piece.
Autumn gives Cross a hug.
Thank you, small one.
Well, not really sure what our next step is going to be. But, well, whatever we do, at least we've got a home to come back to if things kind of go haywire.
That is very true.
Wherever I end up, wherever I go, If any of you need anything, I'll be there.
Same here.
I don't know where Barda and I are going to go specifically, but wherever we end up. You'd better come over for dinner sometimes. I'd better see you. You'd better not make strangers of yourselves. I can't let all this food go to waste now that it's growing, and...
We'll make sure to visit. Often.
Absolutely.
I think I did hear that from one of the revenants that the Sword Coast has got lots of land.
Well, they'll look into it.
And you better find a way to contact us immediately once the little thing is born. She points to Autumn's stomach. You're not gonna make me miss the birth of my godchild, are you?
No, I just haven't even thought that far ahead. She looks at Barda. We need a house. We need a place. We need a crib. We need so many baby clothes. Oh my, so many diapers. We need so. I have to make some cloth diapers.
Work it out in time.
Oh my goodness. Suppose we'd have to live somewhere near a town where there could be delivered mail, and then of course there's a matter of food and a matter of, again, lodging. Where are we going to live? Again, we can't just live in a tent. It doesn't.
We'll work it out.
I mean, I suppose I could make a traditional teepee.
What was that?
I
heard the Menagerie Coast has got the best preschools.
The Menagerie, where is that?
South. That's all I know.
So,
Well,
how far south are we speaking?
Until you find it.
It says coast, so I'm guessing it's near an ocean, kind of south.
Oh, an ocean.
I know these old guys. They've been around for a long time.
Do you think that maybe they might be a little bit outdated?
I never considered to think of that. That could be very true.
I appreciate it, but she chuckles. I'm a little more partial to forests myself. You see.
We'll find you a little log cabin.
Ooh, what about those Feywilds?
No.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no. Oh no. That is no place to raise a child. That is no place.
Look into it.
What is wrong with Feywild?
No. Just no.
No.
No. It's you can visit if you're careful, but it's not really a place for us mortals to go. We stay in Barovia? Where are you going? She looks at everyone. Where is everyone else going? How far are you going? I have to know where you're going so I can send letters, because she looks at you. If you're insisting on being there, if you're insisting on coming and visiting those, I must know where to send the letter. Where are you going?
Where is our first destination, Melchior?
It's a good question. I wanted to go visit Ember Cove.
Then I guess we're going to Ember Cove for now.
Where is that?
Where is that?
Where is that? It's also by the sea. Not too far from Cinderfell, I don't think.
Cinderfell.
To help now we're working out on a map that's still in the works. We'll say that it is east of Cinderfell.
By the sea.
By the sea. Yes.
Well, we'll go to Ember Cove first, and if we decide to leave anytime soon afterwards, We'll just send you a letter before we go and tell you our new destination. That way you know where to send a letter. We'll have that little system so you know where to send letters to.
Thank you.
I should get a real bird to deliver them.
A bird. Oh, maybe Barda, should we get a bird? Do you think a bird would be able to carry a letter?
Oh, well, I would assume, while he tries to find the right words, you hear a hearty just come from the side. As the one, the only Sir Galahad comes to say congrats to the happy couple.
Sir Galahad! You made it!
I wouldn't miss this for the world!
Oh,
Hi, Galahad. Thought you were dead.
I'm so glad you could make it. Where have you been?
Not yet. Like, this, as you remember, I said at the start, 4 months. This is 3 months.
Oh. Hey,
Galahad hasn't died yet.
Autumn stands up to greet him. Hello, Sir Galahad. Thank you for attending.
Oh, how could I miss it? I was there from the start, and I would be there at the end.
At the end?
Well, yes, the end of the story of sorts, is it not? You guys going out, rallied your forces, conquered evil. It is a tale as old as time, and you have brought it to a close.
Oh, I see. That end. Yes, that's true. Thank you.
So to ask, have you named it yet?
What?
Is it Galahad? Please tell me it's Galahad.
What named? What?
The baby you have there.
It's not a secret anymore.
Autumn kind of like retreats slightly, puts a hand on her stomach. We don't know we don't even know if it's a boy or a girl or a spirit. We have no idea. We must choose a name appropriate. That is
we'll
not the
find
tradition.
out in time.
Listen.
And Wekio, I've heard about you and Harmony. That is exciting. I hear you mean the parents soon, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Little nerve-wracking.
Oh, but a woman of your sort should be an expert at these matters now, yes?
Sorta. If all things go bad, hand-to-hand combat works.
I could not agree more. You should have been there when I met my wife's parents. And Shade, you and I never really got a chance to talk, but it has been good to be associated with you in the same room. I've already mentioned I like your ears. They're very pointy.
Thanks. And we had a chance to talk some during the fight with the what are they called? Fuck, the trees.
Ah, yes, this is true. Granted, I was a bit busy as were you, and I've also had quite many to drink. But
I can tell.
Haha.
Shade scoots back.
Mori. That's a fun name to say.
It's my last name.
Milky or Mori. It's just it rolls off the lips. You.
Thanks, Galahad.
I hear you're going adventuring towards the Ember Coast. You take care of yourself.
Oh, I will. I'll have Shade there to, help me if I do something stupid.
If you do something stupid?
I cannot wait to hear the stories. Harmony just goes up and gives her a big old hug, which he happily takes. And you, Cross, you take care. I plan to go seek out some help for the Order. I should be back soon enough.
Well, be safe and make sure you send messages, regarding your position.
Or nothing There's nothing that I, Sir Galahad, can never overcome.
I expect a full report when you come back over some beers. You understand me? There is more undead we must get rid of.
He gives you a hearty salute and a chuckle. Though, this actually would be the last time all of you would see Sir Galahad. Anyone, really. On the highest peak, far, far above the Valley of Barovia, the knight looks out over at all the good work you guys have done. It's a set of 4 canaries there by these, happily feeding, waiting for his associate to come meet him. It doesn't take long before the crunching of snow is heard from behind him as he turns to see the Raven Queen.
Okay.
Well, the Queen smiles back. Well, you did it. You got what you wanted. Tyed is free. The wheels of fate have begun. They won't stop turning until this all is over. You know that, right? Yes. I knew what we were getting into when we started all this, but the universe, no, the multiverse it's been stagnant for too long. And the gods have been too placent. None of the primordials ever dared to go to upset their order. They wouldn't have allowed us. It had to be their choice, their actions. As in, had they not proven already that they know what's best for this world? You saw the good they brought to Barovia. I know they can do the same for Versailles. Yes, you're right. Raven Queen just husses her temples. But why not? Why all the charades? Why all that? Why did he go through this? She gestures towards them. Galahad takes up a piece of his armor, just lets it fall to the ground. I suppose, yes. Not this armor I really needed. But he goes and pounds his chest hard. I had to make sure that I was going to upset the balance of all things. I had to make sure it was heroes, strong heroes of the land who would go and see it through. All of them. I trust in them. They will bring so much balance to this world. And what of you, Galahad? She says with a bit of a snicker. What do you plan to do with this persona? I suppose to give them the push they need. I guess Galahad must be no more. He goes and takes up more of the armor, just takes a knife out of his pocket and goes and cuts his hand, drips some blood over the armor, creating a sloppy mess. They'll find us in time. They'll do what's right. He starts to breathe a bit heavier. In the meantime, I need to go back to my realm and rest. To rest for the battle that will come. The canaries he is feeding start to glow as he glows too. As suddenly his form grows to be large, not of just a house, a mansion, but was the size of a mountain. As this large dragon now sits at the very top of the whole mountaintop.
What?
Raven Queen's clouds.
Gashira?
What?
Well, Bahamut, let's hope your plan goes according to how you foresee it. A laugh, a chuckle that kind of echoes throughout the mountaintop, not from Galahad, but for Bahamut. Bahamut, the king of all metallic dragons. The rebellion is over. Well, Misfits, let's see your true adventure begin.
What?
Huh?
There be dragons.
God fucking damn it! Why is Galahad a fucking dragon? What?
He is not just a dragon, he is the dragon.
Dragon.
No, the dragon.
He is
I forgot.
the daddy of dragons.
He's Dragon Dad. Dragon Daddy. Oh no. No, no, fuck.
He is Dragon Tail's disappointed father.
I can't believe I'm even more in love with Galahad, guys. It's so strange. I think I'm gonna marry him.
Oh,
I don't
no.
care if he has a wife. I think I'm gonna marry him.
Wait.
His wife? Huh. Who have I been hinting at for the last little bit? Who is Galahad, technically his wife?
Don't tell me it's Tiamat as his wife.
It is Tiamat.
God
Oh,
fucking
for
Tiamat.
fuck's sake.
Yeah.
That,
But look
they
at that
have,
picture
Him,
there.
actually.
they
This
have
is
the
the
worst
pro-
marriage
see?
ever, I just gotta say.
This is another reason why you shouldn't stick your dragon dick in crazy.
Yeah.
Are they still married?
Probably not, considering everything.
My purpose is kind of hunt and kill her, so probably no.
I like to imagine just the random Barovian farmer who saw this fucking dragon in the mountain.